public trust. Now, especially for the police forces, I will discard my preliminary statement. I think it's very technical. Thank you. These laws that are being proposed, you might say, might be a reaction. Certainly, our citizens, like Senator Marcos and all the others, have reacted towards so many killings going on in our country that have remained unsolved. We cannot allow that to happen. And so, let me stop first. I think Senator Marcos is speaking. May I ask the staff callers to call Senator Marcos to make sure that that she has pressed her button. Quickly. Senator Marcos. Tawagan niyo. Where's Athena? All right. My mistake. Senator Marcos has the greatest ability to attend two hearings at the same time. In any case, going back to my prefatory statements, there is certainly not only a significant but an overarching reaction against all the killings that are occurring in our country. And the police, which means people in Greek, they are what you call the COPs. Normally, we know them as chief of police, but in reality, the original etymology is they are constables of the people. They protect the people. Constable with stability, so to speak, if you will. But lately, with all the occurring crimes that have been perpetrated and many people dying, it really has gone to the point that I say there's a violation of the Constitution, particularly the Bill of Rights, which assures every citizen of the right to life, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects, against unreasonable searches and seizures, just like what happened in Cavite the other day, etc., shows the prevailing wisdom of the founding fathers of the 1987 Constitution, that life is sacred. And having said that, people have the right to their lives, to be safe, to be secure. But of late, more and more events have transpired where people are killed. Some of the policemen here are involved in the investigation of crimes against, let's say, the mayor of Tarawan, Mayor Halili, who was assassinated, and no solution has been preferred so far. Imagine being assassinated while doing your duty in front of City Hall, in front of your fellow employees of the government, in front of all public servants. And I can show you the tape. She's in the black, and all of a sudden, while singing the national anthem, he suddenly twisted, and he runs and then dies. There are many other incidents like that. Yes, 2 days ago, there was the case of Mayor Aquino in Samar, Calbayog, Samar, and together with two policemen, and many of you are policemen here in this committee, he was assassinated. And horror of horrors, the day after, a seeming raison d'etat is preferred by the police. They say it was an encounter between the PIDEA and the mayor. That's very sad. Nowadays, you can hardly hide these violent incidents because there are CCTVs everywhere. And with more reason, there's a sense of urgency to be able to satisfy the thirst of the people for justice. And then you had the famous case of Nuesca, where he kills a 55-year-old woman in front of his daughter. on an argument over land after about a half an hour of protracted argumentation. Police are trained to conduct rules of engagement, to be polite, to be courteous, to be firm and fair, and never to use their overpowering strength, the gun, which is given to them by way of what we might call the social contract theory. Citizens give their rights to be protected. They give their rights that policemen can can carry guns to protect the people. But when they start going beyond the boundaries of that protection, they must answer, and they must answer swiftly. Unfortunately, there have been too many cases where policemen are involved. Even in the academy, people are hazed or brutalized. So there's really something wrong with the system that we have. When I was in the Constitutional Convention, I opposed the fact that we should have one national police force, civilian in character all over the country, because once a policeman in one jurisdiction of the national police becomes corrupt or becomes a murderer, then the whole system, the whole PNP, is now under the focus of scrutiny, public scrutiny, and even disgust. So kailangan po maayos po natin to dahil pinagtitiwalaan ng pulis, nakalagay dyan, to serve and protect, magsilbi at protektahan ang bayan. Pero sa dami ng mga kaso na lumalabas sa ating bayan, ay nakikita nyo, hindi na po proteksyonan ang bayan, ang mga kababayan natin. Halimbawa na lamang, no isang gabi lamang, nakita natin na in flag report, 48 victims were killed by unknown gunmen, usually on board motorcycle. But that's riding in tandem. I'm talking about policemen that are killed. 4 killings. For example, the perpetrators were identified as police officers. 3 of the killings perpetrated by police officers were done by ambushing the victim, either by riding a motorcycle or another vehicle. Where did that happen? I can remember a case in Quezon when 2 groups, one led by a police group, killed everybody in a car, and they were gambling lords, so to speak. But even if they're gambling lords or drug pushers, no one has the right, except the courts, to conduct a hearing, give due process. You have no right to, policemen have no right to become judge, jury, and executioner at the same time. There have been many, many cases that have been involved. I can go back to my own case. My father was assassinated by a police chief who was in cahoots with the local government executives at the time. So it doesn't mean that just because it happened, we're not going to solve that problem. I spent the whole part and up till now of my life looking for the killers of my father. And, you know, sometimes you really have to know what goes into the mind of a policeman who is given a badge, who seems to think that he is overwhelmingly powerful. And because of that, we have now conducted these proposals, not only to address all the killings, but also we do not want the policeman to get away with it. And most of the time when they go to court, they are lost in the bureaucracy. After all, how many policemen are there in this country? There are over maybe 200,000 policemen. All of them have just been paid well, better than teachers and nurses. A total of 207,316 positions filled, and yet they cannot solve any case. We are now conducting a review of how many murders have been perpetrated by policemen and how many of them are killed. But we cannot wait for reviews like that. And that is why I filed this bill not only in the last Congress, uh, actually 5 Congresses ago, and to see to it that any criminal among the policemen will not be lost in the bureaucracy, will not be able to hide that the case has been filed against them in court in another area. And so the victim has to look saan ba kinakasuhan yan. I've even put in, even as a civilian, I lobbied when my wife was congressman for the creation of people's law enforcement boards, where policemen must be judged with speed, with dispatch, so that we do not lose an iota of trust from the public, so that the community of the people, usually common folks sitting in plebs, can represent the people and act right away, and even take out a general who's been abusing or has done wrong in the community, and they can convene and they can summarily put that general or that captain or that sergeant right away under arrest, and pending appeal, he has to be disarmed so that he cannot hindi sila makakalusot. So marami tayong ginagawa para maproteksyonan ng tao. Yan na nga yung plebs at yan na nga yung ating ngayon itong police courts. Ano bang pakay ng police courts? Ang pakay niyan, magmula ngayon, kung mapapasa itong batas na ito, lahat ng kaso ng pulis ay mapupunta sa isang husgado sa probinsya na doon madaling hanapin at madaling mabilang. Sa lahat ng oras, magkakaroon ng transparency. At upang sa ganoon, malalaman natin kung napaparusahan talaga yung pulis o dinidribble sense of justice in this country. And kaya ngayon, saganang-sagana ang mga namamaril ng tao na nakamotorsiklo. There was even a case in Mindoro, if I'm not mistaken, where 2 policemen were involved in killing a civilian. Mabuti na lang nahuli siya sa next town. Mabilis yung mga tao doon. Nakakahiya ang ginagawa ng ilang mga taong uniformado. How can you look at your children at night when you go home and some of your members are not good law-abiding citizens? You, who are authorized by the people to carry a weapon to fight for justice, use the very weapon that has been given to you to harass, abuse, maim, and kill people. And that is why the objective of this bill is to really make sure na we do away with many of the bureaucracies na usually pagka may dumaan ka sa bureaucracy, lalo na yung mga administrative, nagkakaroon tayo ng sistemang kabaro. Hindi natin dapat kasuhan yan, kabaro natin yan, baka mangyari sa atin yan mamaya. Ganun rin yan. But the very law that protects you when you violate yung system na yan with the kabaro, eventually will catch up with policemen. And therefore, it is important that this bill ay dapat maging the sword of Damocles, so to speak. That you can run but you can't hide. Kapag ikaw ay nakasakit, nag-abuso ka, criminally, you abuse the constitutional rights of the people, you abuse PNP operational procedures and the code of ethical standards committed by members of PNP, criminal cases, diyan ay babaksak, hindi na sa Napolcom, hindi na sa Department of Local Government. Yan ay tuloy-tuloy, halimbawa yung kay Nuesca, tuloy-tuloy na yan pagka dumaan sa Regional Appellate Court ng PNP, hindi na aakyat sa Secretary of Local Government at yan ay tuloy-tuloy na sa husgado. At ngayon, magkakaroon kayo ng pagkakataon na hindi nyo binigay ng mga salarin sa mga mamamayan na pinatay ng wala man lang husgadong umabot. Kahit na sino pang masamang tao, drug pusher, kahit na sino pa, kahit na sa harapan ng West Barilin yung tao, kung hindi binigyan ng due process, you are guilty. You'll be adjudged guilty by any judge if we do not take and follow the rules of engagement and protect the basic rights of the accused. So based on that now, and based on all the crimes that have been perpetrated, gusto kong malaman ninyo na ito ay tatalakayin natin ngayon. Ito ay garansya ng gobyerno na magkakaroon ng efficiency and high-quality decisions and resolutions of cases. Ito ay magkakaroon tuloy ng makakahina ng maluwag ang mga tao na pagka pulis ang kalaban, may laban na sila. At hindi ko nilalahat ang pulis, ha. Even a few rotten eggs can ruin the entire basket. So, sayang ang pinag-aralan sa PNPA, sayang ang pinag-aralan sa PMA pagka niyurakan ang karapatan ng tao. Ito sinasabi ng UN report in 2020. More than 8,000 people have been killed in the war on drugs, and there has been only one conviction for murder despite thousands being killed. In fact, inamamatay for the last 5 or 10 years, 10 years, ay 30,000 sa mga riding in tandem. Halos walang nasosolve. We will not take it any longer. And the Congress of this country, while we cooperate with the executive, we will not cooperate with injustice. You are not exempt from the long arm of the law. You are not exempt from facing charges just because you wear a uniform and a badge. So on that note, I'd like to start now. We have also some guests here, Attorney Federico Agkawili with the Philippine Bar Association, and MMDA General Manager Jojo Garcia, the President of the MMDA, and eventually, you know, I had complained to Mr. Garcia at one time that right in front of this building, may binaril na naka-van na prominenteng tao, and I don't care kung sino siya, kahit na prominente siya or naman, ay pinagbabaril magkabila at namatay. At tinawagan ko agad si Mr. Garcia ng MMDA. Ganun dapat ang maging attitude ng bawat tao na hindi mag-uusisa. Ang nalulungkot ako, kahit sabihin niya na yung mayor na napatay sa Calbayo, biglang na lang sasabihin involved sa drugs, that is not a reason to kill. That is why you are there. You're trained to investigate. You're there to produce evidence. You are there to train every day so that you get your men. But if you use the gun, you have no business staying in the police force 1 second because you're a killer. You're a murderer. And the people will not tolerate that among the people who are supposed to serve and protect the people. Yan ang kailangan natin malaman. Kaya ngayon, panahon natin pag-aralan itong batas na minumungkahi natin. At gusto ko sana imbestigayin lahat yung mga namamatay dito magmula nung January 1 para malaman ninyo ang number of victims ng mga riding in tandem na walang nasosolve. 91 victims from January 1 to March 10. 92 victims, 92. At ang patay ay 70. Ang injured, nakaligtas, 20. Unhurt, 2. So, kung tanongin kaya kayo ng mga anak ninyo, tatay, bakit walang nasosolve ang pulis? Matitingnan nyo ba ng diretsyo? Ang sabi nyo na bisaklat ang pulis, na wala silang focus. How many thousands of cold cases are there na hindi na nabubuksan dito sa atin bayan? Kaya umpisahan na natin itong investigation natin in aid of legislation at since this is the Committee on Justice, I will ask the Committee Secretary to put everybody under oath. You're appearing before the Senate of the Republic of the Philippines in a very important investigation. Mr. Secretary, Committee Secretary, please administer the oath.
May I ask everyone to please raise your right hand? Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, but nothing but the truth in this hearing?
Yes, I do.
All right, the chair looks at all of you and you raise your hands, except the gentleman with the pencil there in the middle. Excuse this gentleman. Attorney Reggie, you have not raised your hand. Okay, let the record state that Attorney Reggie has finally raised his hand. The record will show that everybody has raised their hands to swear that they will tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this committee hearing and investigation. Thank you very much. Senator Marcos, would you like to begin the questions, please? Senator Marcos? Tawagan niyo nga. Okay, session is resumed. I think Senator Marcos is currently detained. Let me just ask Police Major General Albert De Ferro in charge of CIDG. Sir, General De Ferro, you replace General Coronel, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are you? Can you raise your hand? Oh, yeah. You're among the group. How many cold cases does the police have at the moment?
May I refer to the our info kit, sir?
To the what? Do you have an answer?
We'll check first with the reference, sir. Wala tayong number. Get back to you as soon as the numbers are available, sir.
But I think those figures should be taken to bed with you, because that should be something that you should think about every night, that there are so many cases that are unsolved. That should be your personal goal, to open up these cases and to provide justice to everyone. Don't you think so?
Yes, sir.
Well, I hope you do that, because it is your high sense of duty that must prevail. Not yung talagang ganyan, wala akong magagawa, tapos na yan. Finish, next attraction, next killing, please. Hindi pwedeng ganon. In the meantime, let me get to the point. I don't want to detain some of the justices here. Will all the police people please be prepared to answer questions? You are policemen. You ought to know your job. I will ask Justice Dangal De Leon, a former justice of the Court of Appeals, what he thinks about the law that we are proposing. That, by the way, this was taken in consultation with the Supreme Court. That one of the ways to do it, to prevent anonymity in the cases, would be to designate a particular court in every province, like something like an admiralty court or a court for domestic affairs, right? Justice Dangal, would you favor us with your observation, please?
Yes, Senator Gordon. Unfortunately, I can't open my video. I don't know how. I have no video.
Do you have a grandson there or a great-grandson with you?
No, my son and daughter left, so they're out of the house. So I don't know how to do it.
But seems to
Sorry,
be
but-
the one who interviewed. It's okay. We can hear your voice.
But okay, sorry. Okay, I think there's no problem with Congress amending the law when it comes to jurisdiction of courts. That's the domain of Congress. Substantive law is the domain of Congress. So you can amend BP 129, you can amend Sandigan Bayan law, creating this new court, particularly about policemen who violate the Constitution and rules of engagement. I think everything is in order when it comes to this law, proposed law to amend about jurisdiction, BP 129 and the Sandigan Bayan law. Everything is illegal.
And that would mean that we can now, the Supreme Court can now designate a particular court in every province to have additional duties to handle police cases, so that when the people try to find out where their cases are, they can find out where a policeman is being tried. Do you agree with that, sir?
Yes, I agree with that. Once the law is passed, that's the job of the Supreme Court, designation of particular courts in every province, within the power of the Supreme Court. They can do it.
So madali sa amin, madali sa mga tao ngayon na masundan yung mga kaso ng mga pinagbibintangan na mga salarin ng kanilang pamilya, at mas madali nilang maiintindihan kung ano ang proseso, sapagkat hindi na sila kakapa-kapa na maghahanap kung saan ang judge. Sino ang judge o saan yung pulis na yan. At mababawasan rin yung mga pulis. Di ba kadalasan, in your experience, maraming pulis nalilipat, hindi na nalilitis yung kaso at nadidismiss. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, that's the problem. But there's a special court for this particular offenses committed by the policemen. Madali lang matrace. Easy to trace already the status of the case. You know which courts are trying these policemen who violate the Constitution and the law. Madali lang hanapin yung kaso.
And as you're aware, there are administrative cases filed against policemen. And that goes at a very slow pace, because lumalabas na pagka dumaan sa PNP, sa NAPOLCOM, sa plebs, sa citizens claims, doon sa IAS. Niloloko na nga yung IAS, although magaling yung nagpapatakbo niyan, dapat mag-search siya, nagiging IWAS yung IAS. Dahil pagka police na involved, hindi na lilitis yung kaso at natatagalan, although sabi bumibilis na raw. At pagkagaling dyan, mag-a-appeal doon sa Regional Appellate Board ng PNP. At pagkatapos yan, aalisin na yung tinatawag na appeal to the National Appellate Board. Tatanggalin na yung appeal to the DILG, appeal to the Civil Service Commission, at tuloy-tuloy na ito sa Regional Trial Court. What do you think of that, Justice?
Yes, that will shortcut the process because policemen investigate their peers, mga kabaro nila. It's very difficult for them to do that, no? Eh kung ang litis sa mga polis, ang korte na, then who's supposed to be independent, and they can the cases will be proceeding faster. Mas mabilis matatapos ang kaso.
I would like to emphasize that we are not accusing the whole rank and file of 200,000 plus police forces. There are just a few of them, but there are too many few of them who do these dastardly acts. Kaya kailangan mabigyan sila. Do you think na magkakaroon ng takot ngayon yung mga pulis sapagkat ngayon madali na silang hanapin ng mga media? Ano ba nangyari kay Nuesca? Saan ba si Nuesca? Kung di ka nagbabasa ng dyaryo, hindi mo alam kung nasa naroon na si Nuesca. Yung bumaril lang ale doon sa Tarlac. Normally, sasabihin natin, nasa Tarlac. Ang daming court sa Tarlac, hindi po ba?
Yeah, definitely. May special courts for policemen. Madali na mahanap yung kaso. Hindi rapo sa isang korte. Rapo iba-ibang korte yan. How can you trace? It's so difficult to trace.
And in this era, pwede lang pumunta yung tao sa in this era where the Supreme Court is computerizing everything. They can just go to the website and take a look kung saan napunta yung tao na yun within that jurisdiction. Would that be correct, sir?
Definitely. Yes, that's true. That's very true. Mabilis yan. Mabilis ang proseso. Siguro baka in a few months, tapos na yan eh.
And how many days
Abutin na taon na yan.
ilang araw po dapat tatagal ang kaso ng isang nasasakdal kahit hindi siya pulis? Ang mga judge po, di ba, mandated to render a decision not more than 90 days from the time and case is submitted for decision? Tama po ba yan?
That's true. Both in criminal cases, civil cases, 90 days to decide the case. Kaya lang, sa dami kasi ng kaso ng sa area, may mga korte na maraming trabaho, maraming kaso talaga eh. It will take little time. But if they cannot, yeah.
Kaya meron po kami ginawa na binabago namin yung jurisdiction. Yung iba binigay na natin sa municipal trial court.
Yeah, that's right.
Yung halaga na hanggang 2 million, bababa na sa national, sa
MTC. First level.
MTC. Tama po kayo.
MTC. Yeah, MTC na. That's better. It's true. It's true.
Pwede na rin
bawasan trabaho ng RTC.
kaso ng Admiralty, yung ibang specialized courts ng MTC. So babawas yan. Ano naman po ang mangyayari pag binigyan natin sa pulis, sa RTC, yung mga kaso ng pulis? So alay nyo, dadagdag yan o babawas?
Well, kung kaso ng RTC, mabuwas sa MTC, some of them, that will lighten the load of the RTC judges.
Yes. Pero ano kaya ang impact psychologically sa mga pulis? Siguro talagyan natin ang mga pulis natin. Si General Ferro, you're new at CIDG. Anong reaction nyo dyan sa batas na yan? Na pagka ngayon involve ang isang pulis sa katiwalian, katulad ni Nuesca, katulad dito mga nahuli, yung nahuling bumaril doon sa Mindoro tapos tumakbo, nakamotorsiklo, naharang lang siya ng mga tao doon sa susunod na bayan. I can give you the name in a few minutes as soon as my staff wakes up.
Sir, as to the case of former police officer Nuesca, he's still in jail and he's dismissed from the PNP service, sir.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Either kuminsan kung walang public light, ang mangyayari parang house arrest, preso kaballero, nandun lang siya sa opisina ng hepe, hindi siya nakakulong. Ngayon pagka ito meron na, talagang makukulong na siya ng tuluyan, di ba? Mabilis sa umpisa pa lang. At pag nakita ng mga tao nakukulong, yung mga taong ganon, sa palagay nyo ba, pag diniktahan nyo na yung mga pulis, yan, makukulong na kayo mabilis. Pupunta na kayo ngayon sa local court, alam na ng tao kung saan kayo, hahabulin kayo dyan. Makakatulong ho ba yan?
Yes, sir. Actually, the local police of Tarlac was very prompt in responding to that particular incident. And he was arrested and was charged in court, and he was immediately dismissed from the service, sir.
And we commend them. Pero halimbawa, kung wala kayang video yun, wala nakakita. Sila lang nakakita. Nako, di palipat-lipat yung mga tao siguro. And I know that. I was a mayor. So, pagka pulis, natatakot yung tao, di ba? Would that be a reasonable impression?
Yes, sir.
Hindi dapat kinakatakutan ng pulis. Kaya dapat meron tayong community relations officer na pupuntahan ng tao na hindi na tutulungan ng tao kung may mga hinain sila. Tama po ba yan?
I think the police should be respected rather than be feared, Your Honor.
Well, that is a wish. That is an ambition devoutly to be wished. Ika nga. Di ba? Parang yung kay Hamlet.
Yes, Your Honor.
We wish that was the case. But in reality, that is not the case. Amy, would you like to ask a question? Go ahead.
No, Mr. Chair, in the interest of tidy legislation, meron po kasi akong bill, yung bill ng IAS. It's Senate Bill number 1385, and it was a bill that attempted to strengthen the IAS. I recall in the last hearing, Senator Gordon stated that the IAS should no longer be merely recommendatory, but should be able to decide at least certain things, to decongest the courts, and also because of their expertise in police matters. I was wondering if we should urge the Committee on Peace and Order and perhaps a majority leader to co-refer this, to similarly refer this bill with regard to the fiscal autonomy, expanded adjudicatory power, and increased capacity building of IAS personnel para magkakasama to, may internal na IAS at kasama rin ang initiative ng ating chair na magkaroon ng sariling police courts at maghakian na ng trabaho ng maayos para hindi nalalagjam lahat itong mga mediation and adjudicatory bodies. Yun lang po, just a reminder about 1385, which is still in the Committee of Peace and Order po.
The Right Honorable, the Rock of the Senate, si Bato, General Bato, at kailangan siguro follow-upan natin siya, but I'm willing to insert your amendment here anytime because I cannot say no to you. All right?
Thank you. Thank you. Baka mas may pag-asa yung bill ko kung nakasingit lang sa provision dito, strengthening the IAS. Opo.
Sabi nga ni General De La Rosa, pwede, pero dipindi. Yan, di ba? Anyway, I'm not trying to make light of it. I just want to make sure that let me go back. General Ferro, I'm sorry, I have to keep referring to you. Yung binaril sa Mindoro at nagtakas, tinuturo ba sa pulis yun? Babaril ka tapos tatakbo ka?
The question, Your Honor.
I know, I will rephrase para makakala nyo na nasasaktan kayo doon sa tanong ko. Isang kailangan sabihin ko talaga totoo. Hindi naman tinuturo sa pulis na bumaril lang tao, hindi ba? Unless talaga in defense. Di ba? Kailangan self-defense o talaga wala ka na magagawa dahil mapapatay ka o talaga alam mo. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right.
The PNP adhere to the rule of law and the police operational procedure. Your Honor, I have with me the list of unsolved heinous and sensational crimes from January 1 of last year to December 31 of last year. The total is 1,877, ranging from the different criminal cases of murder, rape, kidnapping, serious illegal detention, carnapping, parricide, violation of Republic Act 9165, robbery, qualified piracy, qualified bribery, treason, plunder, infanticide, arson. So these are the cold cases that is available on hand, sir, for your reference, sir.
Thank you. I would like to get a copy of that, if I may, so we can evaluate that. I'm not going to pass judgment na yun lang ang kaso. Alam ko marami. Pero we'd like to get that. But let me go back to, and thank you very much for that. Let me ask you, yung bumaril dyan sa Mindoro, kasama ba yan dyan? Yung si Senior Inspector Magdaleno Pimentel Jr. at saka si SP Markson Almendras. Ginawa ng mga pulis na yan, ay bumaril sila doon sa isang bayan at biglang tumakbo. At habang tumatakbo sila, masabat sila doon sa kabilang bayan, sumisigaw pa siya, tropa. Sabihin, tropa tayo. Huwag niyo akong pakialaman at katropa niyo ako. Ano nangyari dyan sa kaso na yan?
We will
That
look
is
into
one of
that,
the
sir.
most blatant.
We will look into that, sir. We believe it is in 2016, and we will conduct further
That is correct.
research on that, sir.
According to the Inquirer on November 7, 2017, sir,
Yes, sir. We will check.
Senior Inspector Dalino Pimentel and Inspector Markson Almecrans are back on duty.
We will check on that, sir.
Well, you know, this is the Senate. This is your Senate. I'm sure you vote for the Senate, and I hope you voted for me. And even if you did not, we are still the Senate of the People of the Republic of the Philippines. Pero, ayan, huling-huli, tumakbo, may flight, may treachery, gabi, nahuli, pero ang lumalabas dito, pakitignan nyo nga lang yung investigation na yan. Now, tanong ko kayo, kung yan ay na-file kagad sa korte sa Regional Trial Court at hindi lang sa IAS o hindi lang sa administrative cases, palagi ko tapos na yan eh. Dahil maraming testigo eh. Would you agree, sir?
I would definitely agree with you, sir. And the PNP does not allow any misdoings of our personnel. And immediately, if the evidence will stand in court, I think he will be dismissed and he will be criminally charged, sir.
You know, you sound like a very, very outstanding policeman. I'm sure you will not be there. And I'm sure you're a lawyer. Are you a lawyer, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Kasi si Gilles Coronel went to the same university as I did. Magbibiro lang ako, the University of Law, College of the Philippines, the UP Law School. But anyway, a lot of cases have been filed in court are not resolved or dismissed because kulang ata sa supervision ang mga kinaukulan sa pulis na they neglect attending to their court duties. What do you think is the impact pagka yung tao di nalilitis yung kaso at yung mga napatay o naabuso, nakikita nila? I'm sure gusto kong makita na ang mga pulis, put yourselves on the side of the people that have been abused. Siyempre, magagalit ang tao. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, sir, because that's a duty with the police to attend diligently on all court proceeding. And that is a grave offense if you fail to attend in any instance in any scheduled hearing, sir.
In fact, even in the case of Nuesca, ayaw niya magpa-test sa drugs. Kaya,
I believe, sir, Sergeant
sabihin,
tested
kung
for
di natin,
drugs, sir.
yeah, kung hindi natin babantayan, talagang kahit anong galing, walang mangyayari. Now, how is the PNP monitoring pending cases? Kung ganon.
Actually, it's been one of the best practice of CIDG and other PNP units to have a case monitoring for every filed cases in court, sir.
And I don't have to have my people review it. I'm sure marami tayong makikitang kaso na na-dismiss dahil yung police hindi nag-attend. Tama po ba yan?
Correct, sir. And I would like to report to the Honorable Senator Gordon that there are cases filed against police officer that are negligent of their duties and other criminal acts. So,
In fact, I will help you, Colonel General. No? I'll help you. I'm looking at the Inquirer dated April 22, 2015. Sinasabi dyan, PNP sues over 100 cops for failing to testify in court versus drug suspects. Maganda sa press release. Pero ano nangyari doon sa mga pulis na yan? Tinanggal ba yan? Ano ang attrition rate natin sa pulis sa mga ganyang kaso? Ilan ho ang natatanggal sa pulis every year? Do you know?
sir, may I ask the director for the IDM to answer to the rate of the PNP members who are being found not to fail to testify in court because that's in the ambit of the directorate who has the database on CAPs failing to testify in court, sir.
So before you do, let me just say I have confidence among the many generals in the PNP that they will not tolerate that. Pero siyempre may pressure. Hindi mawawala yung pressure na pagka kapwa-pulis, medyo nadadrag ang paa. Hindi sila basta gagalaw. At hindi natin maalis na komisan nagkakaroon ng bata-bata system, which is probably few and far between. But nonetheless, one case like that is one too many. Would you agree, sir?
I would definitely agree with you, sir. And in fact, sir, the PNP have launched the internal cleansing initiative, wherein we were able to establish a counterintelligence unit purposely to look into scalawags and police that are not diligent in their work as a law enforcer. And the PNP leadership, I believe, does not tolerate those that are remiss in their duty. And we do believe that we cannot really gain the trust and confidence of the people if we are remiss and we are not diligent on our work, sir.
The advice the rank and file of the PNP that this should be said in every police, di ba sa umaga, tinatawag niya yung mga police para magkaroon kayo, ito ang nangyari kagabi, may patayan dito, may nagnakawan dito. Pero tandaan nyo, tayo ay mga police, tayo ay pinoproteksyon natin ng tao. Di ba meron kayong gano'n every day?
Definitely, sir. When I was the provincial director of Compostela Valley, every single day our chief of police come up with a crime statistics, crime analysis on every barangays, every sitio. So I do believe that each leader of different police units have a monitoring system, a database that monitor the crime situation in every barangays, including drug affectation and other issues that concern the public safety of our people.